We are in the last section, so I thought I would do a very quick review, give you a great example of a video that shows a lot of the tips we've learned throughout the course before we go into how to put all of this into action. So Let's Get Physical is all about gauging attraction, so noticing those nonverbal signs of attraction and showing your trustworthiness, because attraction and trust are the two things that really build connection. So to build trustworthiness, you always keep your hands visible, you lean towards them, you mirror the nonverbal that you want, so keeping yourself open and deep breathing, and men especially can also offer protection. If you want to break that physical boundary, you also have to beware of nonverbal deal breakers, especially lip pursing, which is what people do when they're withholding information. You also want to respect your partner's desires. That's with the touch map, so making sure you're gauging how fast you go into those intimate zones, as well as thinking about the differences between the sexes and what each gender prefers. Okay, so I saved this date for the last section because it really amazes me. First, you can see two people go incredibly quickly from barely knowing each other to making out, and how that happens, especially when you know how to read the signs nonverbally. And then it immediately following that date, there's a second date that goes the exact opposite way. It goes terribly. However, the woman in the date has no idea how badly it goes. And so now I want you to see that now that you can read nonverbal, how it is completely obvious to us watching how good one date goes and how quickly it progresses and how badly the other date is going and why. So I wanted you to compare these two dates and take note of what you see and what you don't see, and then at the end we'll compare our answers.
Hello?
Hi. I'm happy that Ben picked me. I think we're the only two that have picked each other. He seemed the nicest and the funniest when we were in the first meet.
You travelled through Europe?
I went to Germany to see an old roommate.
Wow.
So in the
Did
end,
you speak German all that?
Ish Libadish is the only thing I know.
What's that mean?
I love you.
Well, always. It's a
Bit
little
forward, I know.
5 minutes in when I'm saying I love you, but
Oh, God.
I guess look, I like you too. She's pretty cultured, which I find rather attractive, so that's definitely a tick in her box for me. I used to be like a professional sportsman, so...
Oh, really? In what?
I can't tell you that because you'll judge me, so...
Oh, no, you have to tell me now.
Just say sport. Let's just say sport, okay?
Wait, gymnastics. If you think I'm going to judge you.
You can keep guessing. I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, come on.
Okay, if we have another date, maybe I'll tell you on the next date. So...
Oh, I don't want to wait.
He told me you'd tell me on the next date, so hopefully we go on another one.
You know, this is my best ever date in the dark.
Oh, really?
It's also
It's
my
your
first.
first, yeah.
It's also
I
my
hope I've set the
first.
bar.
You set the bar really high, actually.
I can set it higher.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's impressive.
I just need to find your face.
Definitely, that's just going up another level, I'd say.
Oh, really?
Date 2 right there. Yeah.
Oh, I see you.
That's how easy it is.
Oh, really?
You know, I've got my fingers crossed, and hopefully we've got a few more dates with Louise. Can I still maybe one more little kiss before we go, and then hold apart?
Yes.
If we can fly, where are you? Okay. Alrighty, guys. So hopefully I'll catch you later. Thanks for
After going on 2 dates with 2 guys, I definitely think Ben wins hands down. I don't think I want to go on another date with Joey. Sorry, Joey.
I'd pick Ben for a date. He sounds like a guy that I probably wouldn't go for if I saw him, but something is telling me to go for him.
Wait, I have to know, are you wearing thongs?
Yeah, I am.
You are.
Big cross?
I don't know, something about thongs. That
hate
when you're
them?
not on the beach, it's strange.
No way. That could be an issue for us because I tend to live in them.
You seem like you do, yeah.
Sasha seems to be attacking me quite a bit about my dress sense, about my thongs especially. Thongs. That's all I remember pretty much about the date. So she hates thongs. So you don't like the relaxed look, really? You like your men more to be sort of well-groomed?
I like a bit of
metro?
grooming, but not over the top. But, you know, a bit of closed shoes here and there could go a long way.
In terms of the date, from Louise to Sasha, I've pretty much gone from, the top of the penthouse to right down to the shit house. So, yeah, that'd be an elegant way of putting it, I reckon. Okay, Sasha, well, I guess I'll have to go. So, thank you very much for that. I had an awesome time. I'm going to give you a hug and a little kiss on your cheek,
I have my
okay?
hands out. I feel like...
Oh, did you just want to shake?
I don't know,
Have you
I
sting
think
over
that-
me? You don't
I think I would like to date Ben again because it was a fun date. And, yeah, I think he might want to date me again. Don't trip on those thongs, by the way.
Oh dear, the thongs. You're really against them, aren't you?
The most amazing part of this video is at the end of this disastrous date, right? We're reading her nonverbal as totally standoffish, that she says, oh yes, I would go on a date with him again, and I think he would invite me again. Now, the reason why this is so important is because, A, she is clearly clueless to the signs that he was giving her, but also it showed that she purposely changes her nonverbal to not match what she is thinking. So I have seen women do this where they think that they should feign disinterest or they should pretend like they're not interested. And so the entire date she's leaning away from him. She offers her hand and kind of puts her nose up at giving him a hug. So it's really important that women sometimes get in trouble where they don't realize that they're coming off as not interested, as aggressive, as they like to work. A lot of women use the word intimidating, but I have a whole different opinion on women being intimidating. A lot of the times I think that people come off that way because they don't understand that their nonverbal is not showcasing their true intentions. And clearly after this date she says that she kind of liked him, but she wasn't showing that at all. So now that I've ranted and raved about her, let's go back to the good date and look at how they managed to escalate that date so quickly and what we can learn from them. So at the start of the date, when they're still in that get-to-know-each-other phase, they're a little bit further apart, but they're still mutually eye-gazing. You see they're trying to mutually eye-gaze, even though it's in the dark. They're aiming their heads toward each other. They're slowly turning their torsos even more towards each other. And then we start to see laughing together, some more loving nonverbals, a little bit of self-touch for the female. And as they get they bond even more, we see them start to move closer together. They do more mutual eye-gazing. They lean towards each other, and their torsos are angled even more towards each other. We also begin to see a little bit more self-touch. The woman, she almost touches her lips. I think maybe she didn't because she was wearing lipstick, but we get real close to her touching her lips. Then all of a sudden we see they're much closer together. Now we don't know who initiated that, but he's claiming territory. He's spreading his arm out in the back of the couch. She begins to initiate that touch. She goes in for the kiss, which we probably could have predicted actually with all that lip touching or the lower facial area touching that she was doing earlier. And we see that they quickly build that connection. Their torsos are even more aimed towards each other. She's leaning in. We see hair self-touch. Lots of mutual gazing. Again, all those nonverbal cues that we learned that we do naturally, and we can even sense when we're with someone, whether that's in the dark or the light.
It's with you guys. I definitely think Ben wins hands down. I don't think I want to go on another date with Joey. Sorry, Joey.
How many of you caught the sadness micro expression here? So she says she doesn't want to go on a date with Joey. Sorry, Joey. So she shows sadness because she feels a little bit bad, right, about saying that. So for those of you who caught this sadness micro expression, bonus points for you. And also you notice that unlike that Bachelorette clip we looked at earlier, she shook her head no as she said no. So that was an example of someone who's congruent. Their nonverbal is congruent or the same as their words. She's saying no and shaking her head no. And the sadness micro expression comes up because she's saying, sorry, Joey. Just thought I would point that little extra one out. So your challenge in this last section is I want to think about what are your deal breakers. So we talked about nonverbal deal breakers theoretically, but I want you to think about A, do you think you commit any of those nonverbal deal breakers? So do you do a lot of lip pursing? Do you hide your hands? And I also want you to think about the deal breakers that you have experienced. So those nonverbal deal breakers I gave as examples are just the most common kind. Everyone has their own things that just rub them the wrong way. So I want you to think about what do you do, but also what have you seen that just doesn't quite jive with you so that you know what non-verbally kind of is on your no list and what you also have to work on.